Voting is about choosing who best represents us, not who we think will win. Jay Caruso at Red State reiterates what you could not inaccurately describe as the Never Trump Manifesto, with several points that I've been hammering relentlessly for months. Now, as one of the first people to declare that I would never vote for Donald Trump, I am constantly barraged by people telling me that there are only two choices in the presidential election. One of them is Donald Trump, and the other is Hillary Clinton. When reminded the election is not a binary choice and other candidates are available, I am almost always met with, but none of those other candidates can win. Why would you waste your vote? It is this mindset that reveals a total lack of understanding of why we vote in the United States. Now, it may sound pedantic to some, but the reality is we do not live or are not supposed to be living in a democracy. We are supposed to be living in a representative republic, a constitutional republic. That's what the founders gave us. Remember what Ben Franklin told that woman outside the Constitutional Convention when she asked him, "What have you given us, Mr. Franklin?" And Ben Franklin replied, "A republic, if you can keep it." And quite evidently, we can't keep it in 2016. Actually, we lost it in 2008, but I digress. We vote for people to represent us in public office. How long they serve outside of term limits is determined by the voters. When there is a change, it results from people looking at the incumbent and determining, well, this person doesn't represent me in a satisfactory way. I'm going to vote for somebody else. Whether this is in a primary election or a general election is dependent upon a number of factors. Primaries bring about their own challenges, but it is still a representative voting. Who do I feel will best represent me in general election campaign? Some people look down upon waging primary campaigns against incumbent office holders, citing concerns about utilizing resources against a person in the same party instead of saving it for the race against the opposition. Well, Jay Caruso and I may diverge a little bit on this. I don't have any problem with primarying an incumbent so long as the seat is already safe. In that case, primary away. If it runs the risk of kicking a seat to the Democrats, then I have a problem. And he goes on here. But he does have some good examples. He says primaries are healthy. They are a means of telling an incumbent we're not happy with your performance. Now, there is risk, as I just got through pointing out, that the primary opponent is a measured, principled candidate who will fare just as well or perhaps better than the incumbent, all the better. A perfect example is Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania in his primary challenge to then Republican Senator Arlen Specter. On the other side of the coin is the infamous and infamously execrable Christine O'Donnell. While she won her primary against Mike Castle, she was soundly defeated in the general election, as Mike Castle would not have been. As for the presidential race, I'm not going to vote for Donald Trump because he does not represent me at all. On the other hand, neither does Hillary Clinton. That one of these two will be president in 2017 is not a factor in determining for whom I vote. Voting is a matter of conscience, just as Ted Cruz said at the Trump-vention. Only Trump or Hillary can win, so any other vote is wasted is an absurd thing to say. The people who support Trump were so concerned about having a candidate that could beat Hillary Clinton they should have looked at candidates other than Trump. And all the people said, amen! That's why that bleat now, we gotta stop Hillary, is such BS. They don't care about stopping Hillary, and they never did. All they were about was revenge and burning down the GOP. And they got their wish. And this, well, we gotta stop Hillary, that's just taunting. That's rubbing it in. That's all that is. A candidate has to earn votes. Donald Trump is not deserving of my vote any more than Hillary Clinton, merely because Trump is the GOP nominee. I am was a proud Republican, but my vote is not dictated by the party or its nominee. My vote will go to the person who best represents me, and if that is a candidate outside the Republican Party, then so be it. For those who say, but that's only going to help Hillary, I have some advice for you. Go tell that to the 14 million people who believed Trump would best represent them in a general election campaign. Fools.